In 2022, New Balance brought in a record high $5.3 billion. In 2023, New Balance reached sales that rival Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. New Balance has been one of the hottest sneaker brands in the world. Anybody from older folks to toddlers can style the subtle, comfortable sneakers by New Balance. Many may wonder why and how did New Balance take over recently. New Balance was created in Boston, Massachusetts. While watching his chickens, William J. Riley, an Irish immigrant, came up with the idea. Riley observed how they walked with perfect balance on their three-toed feet, and that inspired the three support points in his arch support products. He wanted to offer people better balance, so New Balance was born. When you hear New Balance, three cities may come to your mind the most: DC, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. In the DMV area, New Balance has always been the go-to sneaker. Growing up in these areas, a pair of New Balances were the equivalent to a pair of Air Force Ones. There's been a major debate about this topic for some time now. Now that the New Balance is growing so rapidly, we think it's a good idea to give credit to the city who wore New Balance sneakers before they were cool. To some, New Balance is known as DC's shoe. The DC urban community started wearing New Balances on the block. Hanging out outside all day requires some very comfortable shoes. New Balance comfortable three-point system is why New Balance became a go-to option. Over time, the sneakers began being worn as fashion statements. With the early popularity in DC, New Balance's shoe prices went up. So now, stepping out in some New Balance became a statement due to the price and appeal of the sneakers. Most cities got their style from basketball and football players. DC followed the tennis fashion trends, crediting Asics as an early popular brand in the district. 995, 996, 998, 1400, and 1600 models were the first popular newbies. Almost all versions of New Balance sneakers are worn in DC. The grimy next-door neighbor of DC, Baltimore, has its own history with New Balance. Similar to DC, many urban black guys wear New Balance sneakers on the block. Baltimore is known as a drug-dealing capital of this country. In order to make as much money as you could, you have to be outside the longest. And in order to be outside the longest, you had to have on comfortable shoes. New Balance were perfect for the city. Although Baltimore is credited for saving the Air Force One, New Balance sneakers became popular around the 80s and 90s, blended with Baltimore's unique dope boy persona and fashion taste. New Balance shoes have been a staple of the city. Early favorites included the 990, 991, 996, 995, 998, and the Dope Boy 2000s. The 2000 models were so beloved because of its leather, which made the shoes last longer and gave it its Dope Boy nickname. The 991 dropped in 2001, followed by the 992 in 2006 and the 993 in 2008. These became instant favorites in the city, including the 990 B3, which dropped in 2012. Just like Baltimore, New Balance became a major trend in Philadelphia in the 90s, another city known for its drug dealing. Wearing the comfortable sneaker just made sense. Philly is known for playing sports and having an electric hip hop dance legacy. Closer to New York and New Jersey, to dress flamboyant and crafty was more trendy in Philly versus Baltimore and DC. The second biggest city in the North loved New Balance but wore its select favorites. The 574s, 996, 1300s were early choices in Philly. 990s, 992s, 993s became the go-tos of the 2000s. Which brings us to the question, who really started the New Balance trend? The answer is, nobody individually made New Balance sneakers globally famous. Each of these three cities played a part in giving New Balance the recognition it deserves. Each city wore models that the other city didn't wear or caught on to later. Other areas like New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and the rest of the DMV wore New Balance early on as well. Sneaker stores are clearing their spotlight wall of all Jordans and replacing them with New Balance. The New Balance trend is spreading to the South, where places like Atlanta and Miami are wearing New Balance sneakers. Models like the 990 B3, B4 and B5, 992 and 993 are being popularized everywhere. The 550 model is popular amongst the skate community, and the 2002 and 1906 models are taking over. The small company that started in Boston is now on track to become the biggest shoe brand in the world.